you hear the jingle bells in there in the old
Is that you?
intro? It's subtle. It's subtle.
Hello?
No, it's not me. Not me. Can't take credit for it. Cannot do it. Welcome. This is gonna be awful. Listen to me already.
You sound like shit. What's going on?
It's a Monday, the December something,
Mm.
and we're back. How was everybody's weekend?
Good.
Yeah.
Roaring
Busy.
start. Come on.
Went to the old Kachuk Bowl on Saturday with Bender.
Did you?
Excellent
Good.
blocker. Just tucked right in behind.
Yes.
No lines. Everyone immediately gets bowled out of his wake. It's beautiful.
Can he get you right into the pissa? Because it's a big lineup there.
You just got to use the TV timeouts. You can't be going at the intermission. That's strict. It's
Think it through, people.
Policy.
Come on.
Unless you're in a suite or the 300s, you can't go at the intermission.
New rink is going to have.
Mine was stupid
so many
busy. Like
visitors.
yesterday.
Sorry, go ahead.
It was soccer game, hockey game, hockey practice, lacrosse practice. All just enough time to go.
To
I'll
eat
get
up the whole
that
day.
one there, then that one there, and then that one there, and then that one there, and like 10 hours of
Yeah.
The kid shuttle was in full effect, huh?
yes.
Very good.
But the
How about
Bills
your
won.
Bills?
But the
Oh,
Bills.
yeah.
I feel real good, Dean,
Yeah.
about my Josh Allen MVP pick for Bet365.
Now, wasn't
Yeah,
that tied to some like Eastern Michigan minus 26.5?
Well, that one.
What was that?
That was the original bet, and
Yeah.
then that fell through. So I followed it up.
Right.
Just with the Josh Allen.
Yeah, I would say that's safe. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the next month
Who
to
could
knock
take
him
it
off
from
of that perch.
Yeah, I mean, Burrow and Lamar have probably been about as good, but their teams have not. And Allen's been spectacular down the stretch, and that always helps rather than, say, the first 6 weeks of the year. He's been unreal. Like, what is it, 11 rushing touchdowns now?
It was, you talk about a statement game going in there to Detroit and basically thumping the Lions. The Lions kind of put some points up along the way, but it was very clear that the Bills were very comfortable in what was happening yesterday.
Yeah,
Very
and you
comfortable.
feel for the Lions. Like, they're missing almost all their starters on defense, and that's starting to show up. They also lost a D tackle to for the season in the game. David Montgomery, it was announced in the last 30 minutes. He's out indefinitely with an MCL sprain. Like, Lions are falling apart. It's too bad. They've been fun.
And meanwhile, the Bills
Those
just keep
Bills.
on rolling.
Nobody circles the wagons, Dean.
Nobody. And I mean, nobody.
Where do we got to go this weekend? Detroit? Are they good? Oh, well, doesn't.
Yeah, it don't matter. And now what is it? Kansas City? Mahomes week to week?
Oh,
Oh, that's great news. That helps our case for frauds, right? We got to get them out of that bye.
So we were talking in the pre-show about how it was kind of never close. Bills were close, but it just felt like they were in control of that game. Jack's Pittsburgh Steelers, never in control of that game.
yeah, they cost big money.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Done
sorry,
with you,
Brett.
Jack.
I told you guys, it just didn't feel like they were going to be ready for this game. And they're looking ahead to Baltimore. Big divisional.
Well, that makes sense because, I mean, the Eagles are a pushover.
Yeah, it's just a state rival. No one would get fired up about Philly and Pittsburgh, right?
They're best of friends because they're in the same state, Ryan.
They didn't look fired up at all. They're off
kind of like Edmonton and Canada. We have to cheer for Edmonton because
That's
Frank told us we would cheer for
so
the
the Steelers and the Eagles,
Pennsylvania's
all
teams.
same fan group. Base. That's the word.
That's the one.
Just talk amongst yourselves for a sec.
Was a dog in there bothering you?
No, I just got to grab something.
Oh,
Did he get any sleep this weekend? I feel like this is a sick guy we're looking at here. Look at him.
sounds a little off.
Piece your life together, Dean.
I feel like he did his hair, but not very well.
No, did not do hair. Showered and nothing. Yeah, showered and sweater on.
You know what he could use?
Ricola. Oh yeah,
he could use.
I
one.
tried to talk the middle guy. He's got the old stuffed up into some Ricola. He was having none of it.
Really?
I said, "What's this?
Why is that so intimidating?
This stuff works. Wonderful. I can't do that, Dad.
This show is a presentation of Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account today with Bet365. Huge range of markets.
Huge.
Download the app. When you sign up, use the promo code NATION. When you do so, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. And throughout the course of the program, if you take part in the super chat, in the chat on our YouTube channel, it will be a part of our super chat donation to the Youth Centers of Calgary. Trying to make a difference. That's all we're trying to do.
Good people doing good things in our community.
That's right. We get into opening statements. The Calgary Flames were in action this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get into it for our opening statements for McLeod Law. Peter Klein, he's our guy, personal injury lawyer, disability insurance claims, basically everybody at McLeod Law. We talked about Shane King and helping you if you've been let go and with everything that's going on with Peter Klein. When you walk through those doors or you hit that email address and contact McLeod Law, you know it's somebody who is Calgary-based and one of the very best at what they do. They're proud of their Calgary roots. They are happy to be here. They are happy to serve you. You're going to need you're going to need legal assistance somewhere along the line. Just the first thing that clicks in your mind should be and is McLeod Law, McLeod-law.com. Calgary Flames taking on the defending Stanley Cup champions on the weekend. Spencer Knight versus Dustin Wolf, the big,
great matchup.
The big sexy whoop-de-doo against the lowly, barely got drafted. Who's this little guy?
Yeah.
Well, score one for the little guys.
Yeah.
For the
wee squirt that backed him up at those World Juniors. Sure,
That's right.
I'm sure he's fine. You can play Germany in the preliminary round. We'll
Give you some games, but
yeah,
come on.
Get it. So there's 3 goalies. Do I even get to sit on the bench? No, damn it. Dustin Wolf, 32 save shutout. The Flames beat the Panteros by a score of 3-0.
Very good.
You were there. Give us the details. Give us your opening statements.
I just thought, Florida created a lot and Dustin Wolf was excellent. I mean, what more can you say? That's an absolute goalie win. I think the Flames, they a lot better work ethic and structure than they showed in some prior efforts. You think about the third period against Dallas on Sunday. You think about the third period against Tampa Bay.
They didn't crater?
They didn't crater like crazy, but that's good for Wolf. His last 2 had been pretty rough when you think about, Dallas and Columbus. So great to see him back on track. 2 shutouts on the season. All right. Very nice. And I don't know, knowing just what you hear about him, super competitive kid, I think he probably was extremely jacked up about the storyline you just talked about. Some guys wouldn't care, but I think he does care about the whole, he's the chip on his shoulder guy that was told he was too small for midget and then too small for junior. Yeah, but in the American League, you're going to be too small. Yeah, but this is the NHL. You're too small. And this is the guy that he was told he was never as good. He had to back up at all these international competitions. Outplayed him. It was awesome.
Yeah, this game would have meant more to him than it would have Spencer Knight.
100%.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, and he had played poorly. So
a couple rough starts, right?
Yeah.
The combination of those 2 things, it worked out.
And it does not appear we'll have much of a controversy as who will start next. I think Vladar is expected to be ready for.
Wanted to argue with you about this some more.
Yeah, well, I mean, he played. You're getting a shutout. You're playing the next
shutout,
game.
so you're in. But
yeah, but they've recalled Pelche and Dewar, but not Cooley. So I imagine, and I know it was reported around the post game that they think he'll be ready to be on the bench.
So he was faking it and mad at his teammates for
hanging them out,
soiling themselves.
He had a pulled shoot, I think, from Thursday.
He was Patrick Roy personified, Dean.
That's right.
Yeah, that was his breaking the stick in the dressing room.
Oh, this is how you're going to play?
Yeah, I think my my lower skinema rotor there is a little inflamed.
Well, that's a bad one. You got to give that time. Rest that.
Just the left side, but man, it's not good. I might need a day. What did we make of the opponent? To use the old rodeo analogy, like how was the bull on Saturday?
It was okay. I think the bull was far from very good. Like no Barkov. And then the other thing is they got shut out in Vancouver the night before. So to see the Panthers go 2 games without a goal means they're not hitting on all strides.
I think they're sick
of
illness. I think they're Dean personified.
Is that right?
Oh no.
Yes, I think there's illness. Wasn't that Barkov's issue? Didn't feel well.
What is Barkov's issue?
Well, I'll tell you what, I do feel like today, if I were to be graded, I may well be shut out on if I'm graded
If
on
you had to
today's
play a game
performance.
tonight, would you?
It would not be good. No,
No.
not real good.
We'd call E-Bug instead of
'Cause-
putting Dean on the bench.
Yeah.
One thing about illness in a room on a hockey team is it basically gets to everyone
Yeah.
at some point, right? Like if someone's sick, well, matter of time.
Just get through it.
Yep.
Just get through it. So you'll appreciate that I didn't come in today. Right? I said,
Thank you. Germaphobe to your left, I suppose. I read on your screen.
I'll see you guys Friday for the Christmas show, and that's look at that. He's coughing. No way.
You can just take a day, Dean. If you're not feeling good, just let us know and we can do a show without you.
Hey, we have the technology. I'm right here.
All right.
I'm here.
I want you to rest it, and we got a big day for you.
I love this show. And I
don't think you do. That's why I'd rather you be sleeping.
I love this show. I love the project. I love what we're doing.
You like working with Rhett and I?
Yeah, sure do.
Just three best friends doing their thing.
Motivated.
Best friends ever. Yeah.
His
best
skinnamarink dinky
friends.
do isn't hurt.
Yeah. Lomberg gets his ring. That would be a little awkward, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nice that he's got it.
That's not how you envision it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The other guys are having the big banquet, suits and ties and significant others and big gala affair. Here it's the bowels of the dome. Here you go.
Here.
Thanks.
I think this is yours.
Hey, look, it's a ring. Yeah, we've seen it a million times by now. It's pretty cool, right? Well, yeah, this is my first time seeing it. I'm very excited. Yeah, well, there you go.
Congrats, bud.
I gotta go. I gotta go have my pregame. I got the shake in my locker, so
He didn't play a ton for them in the playoffs. They kind of replaced him at the deadline a bit. They brought in Okposo and Tarasenko and some other fellas.
yeah, they had Cousins at the time, right?
Well, they coexisted all
Yeah.
regular season. He played 75 of the regular season games, only 8 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of
Well, there again,
Deadline.
good team.
very deep, very
Yeah.
good. And not a slight on Lomberg. It's just that's what contenders do. They go, they push 2 guys off the depth chart at the trade deadline, adding more skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okposo skill.
Well,
That was
I mean,
nice for him,
real
though.
good fourth liner for them.
Yeah, they was,
Happy for him, right? You got to see him in Buffalo. a bunch.
Pumped for him.
Yeah.
Ecstatic.
Things are great in Buffalo right now.
Speaking
Right?
of Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. We should reach out to someone in Buffalo and
How's your boy Robert doing there right now?
you know what? These lucky bastards, the Sabres, no one's talking about the Buffalo Sabres.
Of course
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
No
The
one
Bills are
gives
in a
a
heater.
flying F. Like February 15th, it'll be.
We still got a team. Yeah.
Are they play? How are they doing? Like they're making the playoffs. They can't go 14 in a row without making the playoffs, right? Like get our playoff tickets. Like we just won the Super Bowl. I got to find something else to watch.
Or hopefully, if I'm just saying, if the Bills aren't successful in winning the Super Bowl, it's not like Buffalo fans can turn. Well, at least I'm going to now
Yeah.
soothe my nerves, my broken heart with some Sabres hockey. Sabres, as of now, have lost 10 straight.
10.
Nice even numbers, Dean.
They led 3-1 in Toronto last night, allowed 3 in 2.5 minutes, and lost 5-3.
Oh, son of a gun.
And apparently, big TP is coming down
Tyler
from
Pickard.
the owner's suite to have a
Pickard.
chat with the players.
He's meeting them in Montreal today. He's flying to Montreal to meet with the team.
You sons of bitches. That's what it'll be.
Didn't he call the show back in the day? Remember?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, because John Bon
He was
Jovi was
bidding
trying to
Bon
buy
Jovi. Yeah.
buy the team. Friggin' John Bon Jovi. Yeah,
Oh, he showed him.
he sure did. Yeah,
But they got
Bunch of-
Lindy Ruff back. So
surprised that it's not going better.
hmm.
Stunner.
This is a really good team to call every day for the next 2 months and see if they do something stupid, isn't it?
Them are the Rangers.
Ooh, yeah. I wonder though, like
Islanders' best team in the state of New York. Didn't have that on my bingo card.
No.
Pagula can say, like, when's Adams getting canned?
He's probably got till the end of the year to try to convince him to keep his job. And you probably need to win 8 in a row to get back into this thing.
There.
It's not a bad roster, but it's also the youngest in the NHL, and there's clearly some flaws. Like
Wow.
you take a lot of the players on this team, right?
I
You'd
don't
love to
wanna-
have Cousins. You'd love to have Tage Thompson. You'd love to have Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power. Like there's a lot of guys you'd love to have, but something just ain't right. It might be the coach too. I don't know why they just hired him.
I don't, because I thought he was moving up. So that's what I was like.
How's that going for you guys?
They do have a lot of players you'd want on your team.
Yes.
I absolutely do.
Like it's just like that's why I think it's from now until March 7, the trade deadline. Call whoever's the GM there every single
but
day.
the
Kevin Adams or
problem,
the next guy.
the problem for the Sabres are, okay, so now we're going to move another guy to get some more assets.
Oh, I think it's a horrible idea for them. I'm just saying this is the type of spot where people make bad decisions. All this pressure, owners freaking out. You're trying to save your job. This is when GMs make bad deals. Call them every day. See if you can't pry Cousins out of there to play center.
We need to start a campaign, and I don't know how successful we'll be from here, but we need to start a Rob Ray for president campaign.
President of the Sabres.
Yes.
All
I
right.
was going to say that the U.S. just got a guy, I thought.
Well, him and Don would get along, so that's
Would they?
Oh, for shizzle.
Tight.
Yeah.
Who's got the bigger head? Figuratively and literally. Probably literally Robert.
Rob
Physically
yeah,
bigger. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
massive.
Probably not the other way. He wouldn't want that.
Oh yeah, he would.
Would he really?
President.
already- he doesn't want-
He doesn't want to do, like, if he can stay in Buffalo and oh yeah,
I think that's
and he'd treat people right. Put
That's
him in a
what I love
position
it.
to succeed.
and so if you're gonna make changes there, like you're right, it feels like the clock's ticking on the GM. The coach never looked like a good hire. It just looked like hey, this is an old friend, which isn't the right kind of hire to make when you've missed the last 15 years in a row.
Friend.
Old friends.
You're right, though. That is an old friend's hire. They shouldn't have kept. Wow, it's easy, but it was easy even back in the day. It's easy to look back, but I think most of us back were like, "Why did you hire Kevin Adams?"
Yeah, well, and he was working on the business side entirely,
He was
selling
running the
whatever he's
frickin'
selling.
Kids,
And then they slide him into the GM chair, and he actually hasn't been bad in the sense that like
I haven't disliked
it
a
hasn't
lot
been
of
like
what he's done,
Milbury, DiPietro nonsense, like or Garth Snow stuff. Like he hasn't been an awful GM,
but
It's
he's
just
been.
doesn't
I would
fix
say. I would say he's been poor in his hiring of coaches that put demands. Right.
I agree with that.
Like the roster, like you just said, you'd be fine with a lot of those players.
Yeah, you look at the guys they draft, and you're like,
But who's been
"Geez, that's a
teaching
nice
them and
collection of
coaching
players."
them and developing them? It's a bit of an Oilers situation where it's like, well, who's
Yeah.
putting the demands on these guys? Who's giving them the leadership? Like Okpoza was there. It's fine. Okpoza was that, and this is again, Okpoza was there because he was riding out contracts. He was the captain of a team. They were going to keep paying him. He was in retirement mode.
Yeah, and so when you slotted him on a contender, what was he? A 12th, 13th forward.
Yeah.
Like that's not a captain on another team.
I'll bet you Okpozo thought, I'm going to ride this out as long as possible and slide into a management position.
Yeah.
It's not good. But
Let's get to the insider hotline.
Okay.
All right.
We can stay on the
Presentation
topic.
of-
That's good.
That's right. We can stay on the topic. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating, your crystal clear choice, of course, for all your home comfort. Call 403-219-4100. Check them out online, crystalclearcalgary.com. They have a solution for all budgets, including financing, affordable payment plans. So if you feel like you have an issue, do not put it off. Crystal Water's here to work with you. And if you're a barn burner watcher, listener, need a new hot water heater, AC or furnace, discounts and upgrades up to $1,000 in value. We go to the Insider Hotline for Crystal Waters and are joined by Frank Seravalli. There he is. Merry Christmas. It's a little early, I guess. It feels like it's Christmas, but it's still kind of a long ways away. Is it too soon?
What are you guys not working next week?
God no.
No Monday next week?
God no.
I thought that might be like the show with some drinks.
That's Friday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Feel free to swing by if you want.
Love to see
maybe
it.
maybe I will ease into my weekend.
Got a
Yeah.
lot of eggnog if you need it, Frank.
Yeah.
Look at you guys,
Yeah, I know.
continual half milers. I love it.
Yeah, that's
Kind of our brand. Yeah.
speaking of got a lot of miles on us, but too. So we got to take easier miles now.
Yeah, who are you
Because we're
telling? Look at
barely
me.
holding up. We were talking about the Buffalo Sabres. Terry Pagula sounds like he's going to go and chat with the team, so that'll turn things right around,
Perfect.
and that'll fix it. So
They'll be inspired.
that 10-game skid that they're on will be over tomorrow. I think they play. So good news for them.
Well, the good news is the Montreal Canadiens on the other end. So you may actually end the skid.
Yeah.
Look, I never know what to make when I hear something like that. The owner's going to see the team. Like, okay, he owns the team. He sees them 40 times a year, probably. Like, what are we like? Again, not saying nothing's happening, just saying, okay, interesting times. I mean, look, I truly don't know where they go from here because, yes, you know, you look at the standings and my podcast co-host Jason Greger, he was saying this morning, stick a fork in the Sabres, their season's over. I'm not willing to do that yet. They're only 6 points out. And even with a game in hand, the max is 8. You're talking about one good week and you're right back in the mix. So I refuse to say that yet. But okay, so let's work through some of the permutations because we know that, you know, 25 games into his latest tenure, Lindy Ruff's probably not going anywhere, right? So cross the coach off for now. You have an option to, I guess, make a change at general manager, Kevin Adams in year 5, or you could make a trade. And I think I'd probably lean toward, if anything, Terry Pegula pushing Kevin Adams to do something here to make something happen. Because by all accounts from teams that I've talked to around the league that are in conversation with Kevin Adams, he wants to do something. He doesn't know quite what to do. And at the same exact time, probably, if we're all being honest, overvalues his own players. So if all of those things are true, isn't the solution then to just, yeah, you got to make a decision here, do something?
I wonder how natural it would be to overvalue those players because they've picked high for so long. A lot of their guys, they're all top 5, top 10 picks. So you're still waiting for they're going to turn the corner. We've been so high on these guys for years. I was just looking at their roster and it's a lot of guys that, you know, Jack Quinn, one of the top picks, Zach Benson, Dylan Cousins, Bowen Byram, although not their pick, he's there now. Owen Power and Darlene and Peterka. These are all guys who have been highly touted coming up, and they aren't bad players, but and certainly for guys like Quinn and that, it's maybe a little bit too soon, and for Benson. But some of those guys maybe ranked a little higher than they should have been, drafted a little bit higher than they should have been, because none of them are really elite top line guys.
So is it natural to overvalue them?
I think you don't.
Guys?
It's like when in your fantasy draft, you take a guy in the first round. So, well, he hasn't been good, but I used my first round. I can't have him while he stinks and then trade him away, and then he comes through for the other team. I don't know what the statute.
I think there's probably more trepidation in being the guy that makes the next Sam Reinhart trade. That's probably what the fear is. The next Jack Eichel trade.
Yeah.
How do you move on from these guys that then go somewhere else and be exactly what you would have needed them to be in Buffalo?
So when you wind it back, I understand things have gotten toxic with Eichel and the Sabres, and it felt like it wasn't actually that risky of a procedure so much as they just wanted to screw him because the team felt like he'd screwed them in a sense. How would you play that differently, or had it gotten too far and that wasn't going to be resolved easily? Whether that be get more in trade or find a way to keep, you know, one of these elite franchise centers.
Well, the Reinhart one is so totally different than Eichel. Like, I don't know that they have ever gotten to a place where there was bad blood, which I think that's what makes it even more difficult to swallow.
Sure.
But Eichel, no one can unring the bell, but they picked a fight that was totally unnecessary with the surgery. So I think we can all agree on that. There's no need to, if a player wants to go do something that's a little bit different, but has shown in other sports that works, just because you're the first hockey guy to do it doesn't mean that you're a villain. That said, I can understand from Eichel's point of view, though, all he had done since coming into the team is lose. And every time he turns around, there's a new coach. Every time Jason Botterill gets a 3-year run as GM, which is like impossibly short. But to again spin it back to the team, I can understand they're going, hey, we gave you $80 million in a contract that I'd argue, like, he hasn't really lived up to until the last 18 months or 2
Since
years.
he left.
Yeah. So it is difficult to parse through some of those things. But now looking at this current group, I think one thing that stands out is they probably have more value based on brand name and recognition than what their play has indicated they should be. And you would think that in an alternate viewpoint or universe, that Kevin Adams should be seizing upon that and wanting to move some of these guys before they're further exposed and in a spot where, hey, maybe this guy isn't what we thought he was.
We can move on. Flames shut out.
But by the way, before we do that, I wanted
Yes.
to say one thing, and I want to get Rhett's take. Through no part of this am I absolving Lindy Ruff, which I think is Kevin Adams' biggest mistake yet, is watching that team in New Jersey last season and saying, we have to hire this guy. We need to do it right now, and we need to do it, and we're not interviewing anyone else. I didn't get it then, and I don't get it now.
It's Pagula.
I was going to say that's
Made
probably
no
not even
sense.
his pick, is it?
No chance. My gut tells me that's Terry Pagula 100%. Here's your guy. They're buddies.
Old friends hire, we call
They're
it.
buddies. Like,
So is that what we do now? Is then does Terry come in and just give
I've
Kevin
thought-
walking papers?
I thought all along that Lindy Ruff is coming in to take Kevin Adams' spot. I think Lindy's done coaching. This is, again, I don't have any grand insight. I've not talked to the man. My thoughts are Lindy's done with coaching. He's going to play 2-year deal, come back, get reestablished in Buffalo. He's Terry's buddy. He's going to move upstairs and take Kevin Adams' spot. And sorry, Kevin, like they can pretend that to me, that's been the plan the whole time.
The hair on the back of my neck just stood up because I was thinking, oh, that's worked out really well for the
Yeah.
Nashville Predators, hasn't it?
Well, and the thing would be, you would hope, and it's not happened. Well, Lindy will get them on track a little bit. He'll be that transitional coach until they're starting to play better. The kids are a little bit older, and then you bring in the next coach, and Lindy can go upstairs.
But they didn't
They've
change
lost
it.
10 straight.
I don't want to, and I'm not trying. I'm too close to it. They didn't change any of their assistants. But one, Jason Christie got left go. Well, do you guys know who Jason Christie is?
He was a great Manitoba Moose.
He was a great Saskatoon Blade. He's from, I know him personally. I love the guy. But the fact that he had a job was because he's buddies with Donnie Granato. They kept all those other coaches. If you've watched Darlene, Powers, Byram, all these defensemen that are really good develop, and you watch the Buffalo Sabres play D, it's terrible.
Atrocious.
It's
Yeah.
atrocious.
It's the same things over. It's summer hockey. That's what
I
they
think
play.
we showed a clip one time when
Yeah,
you were
I-
on.
I-
Right?
I-
Yeah.
Embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
So Kevin, I think, was told to make a change at head coach, or I don't even think he would have. And I think that Granato was way too soft, and I think their coaching staff didn't turn over. So Lindy's trying, even if Lindy is a good coach, and I think he's thinking about moving past the coaching career into a management career, the guys that he's relying on, they're the guys that have been there all along. Nothing's changed. Lindy, so either Lindy has to run everything, which I don't think he's going to, or he's relying on these guys that have taught these guys all along things that don't work. It is anyway,
Not good.
No. Boom, you wanted to go to the Flames, but can we go to the Rangers first?
Sure.
What's going on in the Rangers, Frank?
You can pinpoint it. Just go to your calendar. So it was a Sunday morning. I think the timestamp on it was 10:43 a.m. I was told. Chris Drury sends the memo to all 31 other GMs, letting them know that he's open for business, and Jacob Trouba and Chris Kreider, among others, are available and/or he's interested in moving on from. They're 3-7 since then. The wheels have fallen off. They've gone from firm playoff team to outside the playoff picture. Their coach is potentially in jeopardy. There are many other roster spots that are in question, and Capo Caco is a healthy scratch, and their goaltending is the worst that it's been in years, days after signing Shesterkin to a record-setting contract. They've reached Pet's heads are falling off stage, and the craziest part is they're still not the Sabres.
What's Drury going to do to pull them out of this? Because it feels like you're going to fire the coach.
I don't know.
Is it
that
salvageable? What's the room feeling like? Is that like, and who's responsible? Is it Drury's fault for sending that and having those names on there, or who released that to everyone else in the world?
Well, that was someone else, another GM that told a reporter. That's how that works. And I've been told that it has been absolute tumbleweeds in that department since then. No one has sent anything about anyone to the other GMs since that happened. So
is that a black mark on this guy's name? The guy that released, had the big mouth, or is
no one knows who that is. It's in secret.
People know.
Yeah, I have a good idea who it is. However,
well, just tell us, Frank. That's easy.
Yeah, we're on the internet.
I don't need that headache today.
Yeah.
So, look, it's I think Chris Drury certainly deserves some blame, but Rhett, if you're thinking about this from the same, I guess you would be of the same generation as Chris Drury.
Got traded for him.
Yeah. If you're the manager in an odd alternate universe, would you be actually somewhat thankful to find out in November or December that your team is as mentally fragile and weak as it is based on this all happening? Or would you rather find out in April or May?
Or is this why they're fragile?
The problem,
not fragile before.
Have they revolted? It would be the question I have.
Yeah.
These guys were not fragile last spring, were they?
No, only Florida got them.
But here's the problem with that is they lost in the conference final to Florida, and then it feels to me like Chris Drury and the Rangers front office somehow made a determination: we're not good enough. We can't win a Stanley Cup with this team. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying
I think it was a panic, and I think he messed up.
Well, that's the point I'm raising is that maybe this was an overreaction, and then for a team that's 12-7-1 and on track for a sure, easy playoff spot. Not saying they're going to do something with it, but has this tanked their season?
I think it has.
Or was this an underlying problem that has now been brought to the surface, to Pinder's point, and now everything's crumbling?
My opinion would be that Drury's a GM, a rookie GM, and that owner's tough, apparently.
Active.
And I think he got the job because somebody else wouldn't do the owner's bidding. And probably he's trying to do some of that owner's bidding. I don't know how much influence or direct that owner has. Hard to speculate. But I would think, I guess my biggest comment would be that Drury's a rookie GM that effed up. And I think he's lost his room.
So now how do you get it back together? So if I'm looking at this from a holistic perspective, you asked me, what do the Rangers do from here? Well, it's all on the table. I think just outside of Shesterkin and probably Lafreniere by nature of the extension he signed, that everyone else is on the table, including the coach.
Yeah, which your semifinals last year, and for no reason you've created animosity amongst the group.
Is that healthy?
No. But that's just it. Like, if I'm sitting there, from my point of view, I might have to fire the coach just because, but it would be a tandem deal.
It's Peter Laviolette. He's one of the winningest coaches ever.
Fired.
Well, look at Montgomery in Boston, though, right? Like, it's not like it's a bad roster and a bad coach. They just needed a reset. I think New York needs a reset here. It's not on Laviolette that this got out and that the room's screwed up. I think that's on the owner and GM, but it doesn't mean that changing the coach wouldn't help. It's helped in Boston and St. Louis.
So here's what I'd advocate for, and it's not a popular view, mostly because everyone in New York is so used to getting a pound of flesh and a warm body thrown on the tarmac whenever stuff happens exactly like this. I would do nothing. We are 8 days away from facilities shutting down for 3 days. We are 4 days away from a roster freeze. what are the chances that a pretty decent team, again, I'm not putting the Rangers in my inner circle of cup contenders, but a pretty good team somehow finds a way after getting a break, taking some time away from the rink to put it all back together again and just plays pretty decent hockey the rest of the way. If you want to make a sizable deal to improve this team because you've now got the cap space to do it, that's a different story. But a knee-jerk reaction right now after a 3-7 run, isn't there a likelihood that either firing your coach or doing something like that?
You have to know your room. So, oh,
You hit mute there, I think, maybe Frank, or something went. He's getting animated.
Getting hot.
It's like that Ukrainian blood that I got him. You start going with your hands and start, doing all this sort of thing.
We all think
I
they're got record, right?
I think I think Frank's making good points, but if the team is pissed off, which they seem to be, like, I don't know if we're in Calgary, but it sure seems like they're pissed off and don't want to play. You got to fix that room somehow. And the other thing, Frank makes a good point. You have at the start of the year, who were your top 3 goaltenders in the league?
Shesterkin's one of them for sure.
Like, you're going to rely on Shesterkin. Shesterkin alone should be able to lead you back into a playoff spot.
Well, do you know what Shesterkin's save percentage is over this?
No, but his goal save is still top 10. He's had a really good year in a shitty environment.
What I'm saying is this, but exactly as all of this is unfolding, we're dealing with, since that started, Shesterkin is at an 893 and Quick is at 857. So it's also just and I'm not saying that their turnovers and Zibanejad and Lindgren and whoever you want to, to be your whipping boy today, all those things contribute to it. But we're also seeing an exceptional downturn in goaltending. How often does that cost a coach's job? A 10-game stretch like that? Yep. They're like, all of a sudden everything's broken, the sky is falling, when really it's just, hey, maybe you just haven't gotten the saves.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all that other stuff isn't happening. I'm just saying it's just adding another layer to the complexity of it.
Chances are, if you go back, and we'll move on, although I was going to stay with goaltending, oddly enough, you mentioned Boston. Well, Swayman's numbers were no good, and the coach gets yarded. Chances are, in season firings, there's probably a goalie who's got a sub 900 save percentage.
Edmonton last year, Woody.
Yeah,
that's like, Skinner was awful. Then he got good again under the new guy, and they're fine. Like, and I don't think the Rangers are that different than the Oilers were a year ago today. Like,
and he still can't get a job.
Right.
Yeah. The reports on the weekend, and we're not shocked. Freddie Anderson has been injured pretty much all season. He's oft injured with the Carolina Hurricanes. Kochetkov missed time. Now he's back, but they might be looking to upgrade. Now, I'm very aware that when you go to specific markets, much like Kevin Adams, fans, media in those markets maybe value the players there with that team a little higher than they probably should. But hearing names like Mackenzie Blackwood and Blackstone and Blackberry, or the other whatever goalies that have been Wedgwood and all these other, they're getting moved or they're getting calls for them. I just wonder, the Flames have Dan Vladar. He's in the final year. There seems to be a succession plan here. Is it a Calgary only thing that would say, well, Dan Vladar could be a guy for Carolina? Or when you step back, is it crazy to think that, well, Vladar's got a 885 and a 3.08 right now? Who's going to trade for that?
Well, first off, you got the bit wrong. It was the wood. That's what
Colorado's
they've cornered the market on wood. They've got Blackwood, they've got Wedgwood. Now they also have Miles Wood.
Yeah.
Which, just if we're talking hockey names, like, is Miles Wood not the best hockey name ever?
Or 5 Wood.
Just
3
Miles.
Wood.
You've got Miles and Miles of Wood. I mean, it's tremendous.
Anyway.
So to answer your question, would the Carolina Hurricanes be interested in Vladar? I do believe that they called the Calgary Flames. They called 1,000 people over the last couple of weeks to try and understand what the goaltending market looks like. I'm told with the Canes, they're going to be pretty patient, and that's not going to shock anyone. But the way that they've read the market is Name for me, aside from Carolina, one other team that's looking for a goalie right now.
Oh yeah, off the top of my head, Kent.
And
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
If
Because that's what the Carolina Hurricanes just figured out. They go, oh, wait a second. No one else is looking for a goalie. So we've got Vladar. We've got Karel Vejmelka in Utah. We've got John Gibson. We've got all these guys that are going to be available and some that we don't even know yet are going to become available. If we sit back and wait because we're in fine shape, we might not need to pay much at all to get a legitimate upgrade that can help our team. So they understood that the asking price from the Flames was a second-round pick for Vladar. And the Flames, at the very least, are going to try and figure out, okay, what happens here now moving forward? Do we accept, if push comes to shove, do we accept a third? Or do we re-sign Vladar? And that's not going to impact our ability to trade him at any point in time in the future if we want to. The Flames have decisions to make on that front, but Carolina, they're just viewing the whole market going, we don't need to do anything right now. We're not paying a premium. We've never paid a premium for goaltending. We're not going to start doing it now because we know that Freddie Anderson coming back from this knee injury, A, it's a defined period of time. It's not like the blood clot he was dealing with before. And B, whenever he does come back, his numbers have been excellent every single time.
I still like both those guys better than Vladar. And to your point, Carolina maybe values goaltending the least of any NHL team when you look at how they shop for it, who they buy, what they spend on a platoon. And Vladar, like when you talk about the Flames, I'd rather have a third rounder than nothing. And I think I can replace Dan Vladar's production. He's been a sub 900 goaltender every year here, and he's got lots of tools and he battles, but the numbers are never that good.
Well, what's happened of late? I know the Flames goaltending as a whole has not been as good. Mostly since I mentioned two things. I said, hey, Dustin Wolf should be in the Calder race, and hey, this team can hang in a playoff spot. But if you remember my caveat when I said this team can hang for a playoff spot, it was predicated on them continuing to get the goaltending that they did to start the season. Why did it all go to shit?
That's back on Saturday, but yeah, it was a rough couple weeks.
Yeah, the effort as a collective went down. The goaltending was not as good, and they don't score to begin with.
Yeah,
so
made me look like a monkey's uncle. I mean, what happened there? Like I say all these nice things.
No, we know, Frank.
This is what you get.
We listen to everything. We don't just rush to judgment off of a little clip that's on the internet. We want all the info, and then we process all of that info to make an informed decision.
And by the way, Cooley just shooting the lights out still for the Wranglers. Like,
great.
What do they do?
Well, they want to get him up, and they want to trade Vladar at the deadline. I think that's real simple. If you give thirds all you get, that's what you get. Great. Now you get to see Cooley, and you can spend less than Vladar's salary and get Vladar production from someone else next year.
I'm just telling you, they've had talks to potentially extend Vladar, and right now the price has been too high, which I don't understand. To your point about the numbers, where does that market come from? How on earth could you think that Dan Vladar could make more or should make more than Anthony Stolarz? But if you were to say to me, you could get Vladar at 2 times 2.5 or 2 times 5 or 3 times 2.5, would you do it?
I'd like to see Devin Cooley, which is why last week we're banging the drum, like get this guy started to, because you do have to make a decision on who you want to be Wolf's backup moving forward. And Cooley's going to cost a whole lot less than Vladar. So if you think they're in the same box, the decision's easy.
But are you willing to, what happens if you can't get a third? So the Flames got Vladar for a third, and I think part of the thought process has been, hey, let's just get back what we got for him at the very least, and we could move along. But anything beyond that, or is it even helping you?
Yeah, I just look at it. It's as much getting back the 2.2 million to spend in other ways. Not that he's making it. It's not an egregious overpay.
No,
but the goaltending he's providing,
$18 million in cap space. I don't know that it matters.
No, but it's part of the bigger thing. What is he giving you something that is so hard to find elsewhere?
No,
I don't think
not at
so.
all. Yeah.
So
I think he's a bottom 10 backup in the league. I think he's goaltender 50 to 70 on earth, somewhere in there. You can go find those guys every single
I
year.
guess.
For
It's
cheap.
just
To your point,
everyone's
like
still
Stellars.
tantalized by the big body. That's the thing.
I agree. I totally agree. You can dream on someone that size, and then you watch a guy that's like a foot shorter come in and post way better numbers. You're like, oh, okay.
That's the problem. Is exactly
Totally.
that though. What
Yes.
happens if Wolf just isn't big enough? It's the
But-
same reason why in talking to people, they go, yeah, as much as you see Saros and his numbers are great, I just don't believe Saros can carry you to a cup. It's just too
Well,
small.
I mean, we're
What'd you
talking
have
about
there, Red?
Vladar versus Wolf. I'm not really concerned with that battle.
I was going to say, don't listen to Pinder's take on goaltending in any at all. He's terrible at evaluating goalies. He likes to think he's got great insight. He talks to these goaltending people. He
whispers,
gets these
yeah.
numbers and insights and all
Steve,
this. And then he wants to sign. Who was it? Boom from
Oh,
the
so
Chad Johnson 10 years
Yeah,
ago.
he
I
was
pumping
pumping
Johnson.
Johnson.
Johnson?
yes for
Pumping
long
Johnson. In a year?
He's the guy.
Razik,
He went
Fleury's
12 months.
And
with
when
a
Fleury
930.
left, Fleury was shit. He's done.
shit.
It's terrible.
Scott Darling,
Let's get
Darling was
yeah.
the snake wrangler there that went to Vegas and
Hunter.
got crazy fat instead
He
of
had
just
some crazy
really
tweets
fat.
on the weekend. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
Oof.
So yeah, it's
I hope Robin Leonard's all right.
That was
Yeah.
my first takeaway, too.
yeah, of course. You have to run. We'll let you go.
Okay.
I did
See
have
Friday,
one more.
Frank.
Well, go if you could.
Well, I don't.
serve at the pleasure of Boom.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know. St. Louis, just kind of what they're doing. They trade for Cam Fowler, then they scratch, and they're going to trade Brandon Saad, or they're trying to trade Brandon Saad. And what are they doing in St. Louis?
it's a good question because on the surface, you look at the price paid for Fowler, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like I get it. And even the fact that the Ducks were willing to retain 2.5 of the $6.5 million, you go, only giving up a second round pick, which is probably in the mid to late second round at that. Okay. Like, yeah, maybe we can rejuvenate Cam Fowler. But then I look at the rest of their blue line and I say, Justin Falk. I mean, even Colton Parayko is already 31 and he's under contract till 37 or 38.
Letty.
Lots
of old guys.
Yeah.
Krug, Suter.
Krug's not playing. Suter's
Yeah.
40. So the next, you turn around and you go, holy smokes, this might be the oldest defense in the league. And obviously Broberg is the sort of new injection to that.
God bless him.
But I guess I'm concerned about the overall direction of the Blues and where they head from here until they can sort of bridge over that gap until the next generation of players. But here's one thing that's totally clear from this season. Doug Armstrong thinks this Blues team can be a playoff team.
I totally agree. Yeah.
And, Jim Montgomery, the big move with the coaching change, that plus the Broberg and Holloway, attack and aggression. And then now this trade for Fowler, like they're not just sitting back saying, hey, maybe we'll make it. They're trying to will their way into the playoffs, which is a little bit different than we've seen from some of the other teams that are in the mushy middle.
They've totally acted like a contender. I don't think they are. It's been odd.
Well, that's the tough part that I'm wrangling with because I'm going, okay, even if you get in, which the odds would still be stacked against you, what on earth do you think you're doing when you get in?
But once you have done what they did, and Armstrong specifically, once you've been 30th in January and then roll to a cup, you will have some shred of belief that you could do it again.
Oh my God. So
Wouldn't
if I had
$31.
$1 for every time moving forward that someone says, yeah, but the Blues were in 31st place in January, like we will never, ever. I want someone to clip this because we will never, ever see that again, ever. And if that's the fallacy that you are thinking about building your team, you have lost the plot. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Well, congrats to the Nashville Predators on their impending Stanley Cup win.
God, they won
Just
free
to prove
agency
Frank
and the
wrong.
cup breath.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. All right, buddy. Appreciate you. Have a good week.
The
Thanks,
Preds, though, you can stick a fork in them. 13
Yeah, it
points
feels
out.
like that's
Yeah.
kind of a done deal.
See you guys.
Let's get the state.
There he is, Frank Seravalli, our hockey insider on the Crystal Waters Insider Hotline. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating, your crystal clear choice for home comfort. 403-219-4100, crystalclearcalgary.com. Make sure, I understand it's going to get cold here the next couple days. Brr.
Overnight lows. Good ice making weather, Dean.
Make sure that heater, the furnace, your hot water tank's in good working order. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating. Yeah, the as far as the Blues, they apparently. Looking to move Brandon Saad. 1 year left, $4.5 million. Has gone 13 without a goal. Healthy scratched Saturday versus Dallas. They trade to bring in Cam Fowler. So which way are you going? Are you going? Are you leaving? Where are you?
Deck chairs.
Didn't we have the same conversation last year? St. Louis, what are you? Are you because you won and you're old, but you're young, but you're not good, but you're okay.
Best players aren't stars, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
Middling, Dean. And you're right that those guys probably do think, just get us in there.
Just get us in, man.
The Flames goalie thing, if I may.
Sure.
They got Cooley locked in at $775 next year. One-way deal, not two. So he's making it no matter what. I think they're most likely what they'd like to see happen is Cooley continue to kill it in the AHL, come up and look like a backup in the NHL. And then it would be him and Wolf as your tandem next year. And then hopefully you get a nice asset for Dan Vladar. But if he's not playing well, you get not as nice an asset. I think that's clear. That doesn't mean you don't figure out what his price is if you on an extension. But
what if you get nothing? What if just
you get nothing? But I mean, if it's a fifth or a fourth, you just take it, whatever.
What if it's like a seventh?
Then you just let him roll into free agency, or you take the seventh, whatever you.
I was going to say, maybe it just doesn't exist. You need a team that needs a goalie, that wants your goalie, that can take the money, that is all of that.
That goalie has to be better than the other goalies that are an option.
Yeah, I just wonder if at the end of the day, Vladar just ends the season, and then to your point, now it's kind of not the same as Wolf, but with Cooley playing as well as he is in the A, well, he's got some NHL time, but clearly would seem to deserve a little bit more.
And the other thing, like, it doesn't matter really much what Dan Vladar's doing right now. Like, it's been a rough 2 weeks. We were trumpeting praise 3 weeks ago. What really matters is that when you approach the March 7th trade deadline and other goalies will get hurt and team needs will have changed, that's when you want Mr. Vladar to be playing well. That's really where his value will be. It's not, no one's trying to make a trade today. We know that.
He's got that 885. That does include 8 versus Tampa and 6 versus Pittsburgh in the last 10, 11 days or whatever it is. So that's going to do a little bit of damage. But
yeah, I think he was around even on his goal saved above expected, like just perfect, like league average, like middle of the pack, and then dropped about 4 goals in the contest.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm with you. I don't think anything happens, but just, well, you know, San Jose traded Blackwood and Carolina called on him, and, you know, Wedgwood was moved, and there's maybe some goal. Where is Vladar in that mix? Is it a Calgary thing to think that he's right there, that he's an attractive
Wedgwood, I think, would be a similar comp. He's been a backup his whole career, and he's sort of had stretches of good play, but not spectacular numbers. I think
he's not good enough to establish himself at the top of the pecking order for desirable goaltenders.
If you need a cheap backup, the Flames can eat half, and you can bring in Vladar at 1.1. That's sort of what I'm thinking. Like, I think he's better than Calvin Pickard. If the Oilers really wanted to get a second goalie in there, he's played Edmonton very well over his career. Like, that would be a move that makes sense for me for the Oilers. I don't think the Flames want to do business with Edmonton, but that's an example of, like, I think he's better than Pickard. His career's been better than Pickard, and you could bring him in at low money.
He should have one of those T-shirts. Remember we were talking, I was 6th in Vezina. I'm a top 5 goalie on the planet. Is that where you said he was? Huh?
50 to 70, maybe? Yeah.
Top 50 to 7. I'm a top 50 to 70 goalie on the planet.
But yeah, and what separates those guys? Not much. Like,
still,
it's a big planet, teammate, and you hope you're playing hot, because like Wedgwood's been in that group forever. Same with Pickard.
It's the planet, though.
It's better than saying the league. I like the planet. It's kind of fun.
The planet.
Yeah, man.
We don't know what's going on
in
the jungles of Africa.
Kari Ramo was probably 61 when there's 30 teams in the NHL, because he's both best goalie outside the NHL, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Isn't that nice? He sent you that birthday note.
So nice.
Big fan.
Never really talked about that.
Yeah, there's a guy who's really old and getting older, and he really liked you when you played here. He's a huge fan of yours.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably how that went down, right?
Well, he said it was nice that you're still working, because seniors do have a role in our society.
That's right.
Kind of him.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's actually a very nice guy.
He's a clean boy.
Remember we met him at the one event. It's like,
sorry, buddy.
I feel kind of sheepish for crushing this guy.
May have had a moment like that Saturday.
Oh, really? Care to share?
Not really. No, off very well though. Yeah.
Because you know what? There's so many who have taken it in the teeth over the
From the
years.
three of us, yeah, and that's kind of the thing too. It's sometimes just by association. I'm like, oh yeah, that show I'm on definitely crushed you. I was trying to defend you, and it's usually like you guys taking flack from what I said, but
Right. Yeah, you're the innocent one. That's
no, like
what
I
I
said,
found
it's
to be the
usually
case.
you guys taking flack for things I say. But
Yeah.
there are other instances.
Really?
Oh hell
What
yeah!
did you do?
Can we not
Found it.
talk? Can we not? You don't want to? It's on the internet. No one's watching.
Just thinking, I don't want you. I
Hints?
give you Cole's notes, but then you're just gonna pry and get all the details anyway. So I can't even open the door an inch.
So why is okay? I'll stop asking. But why?
It wasn't awkward, and I think it was just like, it was later. People were having a beverage, and there was a.
Was the person
respectful-
seriously upset?
No, not at all.
But Pinder was hammered. You just heard him say it. He was shit-faced and running his
I
yap,
did
and
not say
somebody got
this.
mad.
So who of the
did not
three of
make-
us,
no.
who of the triumvirate, was most critical of this person?
Oh, I think it's been a healthy battering from all of us.
Whew. All right, I'll move on. You sure?
You figure?
You don't want to tell?
We're good.
Vita Nova, they have moved into that new location over in the Market Mall. It is the 16th of December. Tick tock, tick tock. Let's go, fellas. Lab grown diamonds. We told you about it. So much parking over there at the Market Mall. You're going to be. I took 3 spaces. I parked this way when you're supposed to park that way.
Don't do
So
that.
much space.
Red will slash your tires if you park like that.
Lab grown diamonds, only store in Calgary that specializes exclusively in lab grown. Vinanova.com is the website. And in addition to the massive savings that you enjoy, being that it's lab grown and not dirty out of the dirt diamonds,
Dirty.
little barn burner discount in store and online. If you're in store, you're making a nice little purchase. Say, hey, well, the boys in Barn Burner, they talk about you. Well, I'm a Barn Burner listener. Or if you're online, use the promo code Barn Burner. One word, Barn Burner, to get a little discount in addition to the savings that you already have for lab grown, which are better.
Less
I don't
dirty.
think that's even me. That's not even conjecture. That's just fact. Better. Phew. That's right.
We're on the home stretch here, eh?
Towards Christmas
Yeah, like it's
or my death.
hoping Christmas. I
Okay.
don't have a great forecast on your expiry date.
And you know
Know
what?
when Christmas is.
As bad as yeah, everyone celebrates when that one happens. Haven't been sick. And yet we were talking last week. It's like I thought I kind of had a tickle, and then it went away, and then oh hello, you're back, are you? Great. Not good.
No.
But I'd rather get it done now
Get it over with, Dean.
than before the holiday hits.
That's right.
You got in-laws this year? What do you got?
Might be pretty quiet actually.
Oh,
Yeah, might be pretty quiet,
that'll be great for you.
which is so sad.
I was informed that we were going to get company over the weekend.
What?
How'd that go for you? Can you role play that conversation with us? Because you said informed. You didn't, was this a conversation or a dictation?
The other two siblings decided that it'd be good to get the family together.
Yeah.
At your house.
Love it.
Perfect.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Actually, whatever. Let's.
I was
go.
going to say that the family they'd want to come over. You're all right with that.
Let's party.
I think it's
Alrighty.
good for shinny games on the lake. That'd be unreal.
Great for shinny games. The rink is slowly taking shape. I got to get another couple floods over the next day or two. I got half the lights up. I'm thinking about doing boards on both ends. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Yeah,
Got it.
sure.
Yeah. Don't lose
Yep.
those pucks.
It's hard to brace them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'll figure it out. You're a problem solver idea guy.
Yeah, engineer,
Yeah, you're handy in that regard.
architect.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Art Vandalay.
You want to be my let's you know what, I don't know, this is not really breaking news, but it's big news. I don't even know if it's big news. You know what? We like it.
Push the button, Dean.
We like it. Coming up. What's the date today? 16th?
We just said
16th. Rabbit.
Stephen Brunt. Name from the past. Old friend, good friend, great friend.
Better than us.
He is doing he's got a 6-episode series that is called Up Close. Episode 1 launches for the Nation Network tomorrow.
No way.
How about that?
We're on Brent's team.
Supported by Group M Motion Entertainment. I could listen to Stephen Brunt just talk about anything. He's got the great pipes. He's so well versed, smart,
Very smart.
world traveled. His first guest, and he's going to sit down, and I think over at Sportsnet they did a thing kind of like this for a while. But Up Close is where he's going to sit down with some interesting folks and get into it. Now, this one's maybe a little bit inside, but because it's to talk to someone who works at Rogers on a Rogers platform, it's going to be kind of guarded, you know? But here, when you talk to, it's an ex-Rogers employee, talk to ex-Rogers employee, the first guest is Keith Pelly, former media exec of Rogers and Bell Media, both. He was on the world tour with the golf. I mean, he's done, and is currently the president and CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. That's a big gig. That's a big one. So Keith Pelly going to sit down with Steven. They've known each other forever. And the interview is available on the Up Close podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, all that sort of thing, and other platforms. And we will have the episodes distributed on YouTube. Now, who's Keith Pelly? Went to Ryerson, that's a big school. Big broadcast school back in the day.
Oh,
still is.
Might still be, but I don't know how.
It is.
You guys go there?
No.
Oh.
Humber.
Couldn't get there. Didn't even try. Like, that's Adnan Verk. Adnan went to Ryerson. Like, that's
a lot of those Toronto guys.
Yeah.
Ryerson.
Worked as a producer in the US for Fox when they got the NFL rights. He ran TSN, was a big part of the 2010 Winter Olympic Consortium in Vancouver, ran Rogers Media, was a big part, was one of the two driving forces at that 12-year deal and how it went down. So all that is and it's with Stephen Brunt. So I look forward to this. It's maybe a little inside, but I'm telling you, if you are a sports fan, if you have any interest in not even the business side, it's just, so how did you get this 12-year deal? Taking the rights away from TSN. What was it like working
big.
for? It was massive.
Yeah.
And now Bell has sold their stake in MLSE to Rogers, all this sort of thing. So take a quick clip here of our buddy Stephen Brunt with Up Close.
Hi, I'm Stephen Brunt, and welcome to my new podcast, Up Close. I've had the privilege of covering sports for quite a few years, maybe more than I want to admit. Name any event pretty much anywhere in the world, and I was there watching, live, in the press box. Olympics, World Cups, title fights, Super Bowls, the World Series, and all the rest. The Tyson Holyfield ear bite, Usain Bolt in the starting blocks, Joe Carter touching them all, Ronaldo going AWOL, Zidane headbutt, Tom Brady winning all of those championships, even the 85 Bears. Not to mention sharing an elevator with Donald Trump and a surprise encounter with Nelson Mandela. It's been a great ride. The games, the events, the spectacle can be an amazing experience, but my favorite part of being a sports writer and broadcaster has always been meeting fascinating people and telling their stories. Which brings us to Up Close. Over 6 episodes, I'm going to be sitting down with sports people who really have something to say. Some are athletes, some are coaches, some are from the front office or ownership. The range of sports and subjects is wide, but there is one common element. These are all people that I wanted to talk to, and these are all people I think you'll enjoy hearing from, irrespective of whether you're a diehard fan of their sport. I hope you'll drop in on the conversation. Up Close debuts December 17th, 2024, and you can find it on YouTube or stream it on all podcast platforms.
So we kind of knew this was in the works, that Stephen had been in conversation. Well, yeah.
Some of us did.
That Stephen had been considering that there was some talks going back and forth. So pumped to have Steve. I mean, Steven's on board. I love it. And like he said there at the end, these are conversations he wanted to. It's not, hey, we've got a sponsorship deal with so-and-so, so you got to fly to here and talk to this person because they're part of an energy drink that we're doing. And
So, Mark, how do you like those chips?
yeah. So this is, and there is, I don't know. And he laid it out there. He was at all those things.
That's crazy.
And so many more. And we've heard those stories over the years from our radio conversations. So he's going to join us on this show tomorrow to talk about that and other things as well.
His favorite show to do.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe him on that, but he generally speaking is trustworthy. So maybe he was.
The thing of it was, he wasn't getting paid to do it. And he'd do it from around the globe. Wherever he was, he would take the time and effort more than we do to be on this show.
I was just thinking, Steve, you know, he alludes to all those events that he's been to and all the things he's done, and then you've done none of those.
None.
He's not in the same echelon as any of us. Let's be very honest and frank about
I've
that.
done none of those things.
He didn't even mention he helped catch El Chapo. Remember when he was down
Yes!
doing the piece on Roberto Osuna in
Undercover
land or in Sinaloa, where they grow all the weed in Mexico, and a chopper literally comes in a couple blocks away. They have a huge ransack El Chapo, throw him in. He was right there. It's crazy.
Sat down at Muhammad Ali's house with his kids.
Yes.
He's done it all. Awesome.
and you've
Steve
done
Brunt.
nothing. Buns.
They're good buns, I'm told.
Yeah.
Haven't tasted them ever.
Making soup and buns. What is buns?
That's not got me feeling nicely.
So again, just for I mean, you'll find it's the Apple Podcast, wherever you're doing it. You can find the audio for your ear
Up
holes.
close.
Ear holes.
And then the video distributed in length on the YouTube. Starting tomorrow.
And we get to talk to him tomorrow?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. You know what? Now, again, my head's starting to kind of do things.
Uh-oh.
Like leak?
Well, I'm a little foggy,
Oh,
foggier than usual. But what it's done, something that we've always wanted to do, and it just never kind of.
Steven?
That's right.
Oh.
Now that there's video, we need to get on a boat, or as we've always talked about, he's never gone ice fishing.
Never gone ice fishing.
To sit in an ice shack with Steve for an afternoon, having sausage and brown liquor and telling stories.
I have sausage from Bonton. I've got a ice shack, and I've got a lake in my backyard. We don't even have to travel far. We can, but we don't
Yeah,
have to.
Yeah.
You could punt me into the living room too when I get
No,
away.
you're
So
in-
5 minutes and then I'm gone. Say hi, have a drink, go.
It's a
We do-
two-man tent. Three.
we do
right,
the like our home game, ice fishing, and then we go to wherever he goes, like Tahiti for bonefish
Yes,
or whatever.
Yeah.
yes.
The road game with Steve.
Large Cayman, Grand Cayman. That's where you always went.
Starting to come together, Rhett.
Yeah.
It's starting to
Finally.
come together. It only took 35 fucking years. Be dead before it happened. Congrats to Steven. Congrats to us, the Nation Network. It's a big one.
Get Jeff Merrick. His show debuted on the 2nd.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Stephen Brunt coming in.
Good work, fellas.
Almost like know what we're doing.
Almost.
Almost.
Mhm.
I'm sitting in my house with my dogs.
And
It's
your
pretty fancy, guys.
congested sinuses.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy. I love that podcast. I watch it all the time. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. You don't want to look or you don't want to see what's going on around me. It's gross.
Is it gross?
Yeah, it's gross.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gross. Let's you want to do a Pinder Report?
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah. I got another thing coming up in a little bit. Could be for all of us. We can't win, but it could be something for all of us guys too.
It's like when I won the hockey pool and I had to give away my smoker that I never got.
Yeah, that's right. The Pinder Report is a presentation of Village Honda from now till the end of the month. It's the end of year pre-owned clear out. Over 70 units in stock, starting from only $11,988, up to $2,000 in trade bonus. All makes, all models, all budgets. They are putting it where it's the money where your mouth is, so to speak. They want you in a new or pre-owned vehicle, and they're ready to do it. Your dealership for life is Village Honda. And there is it. The Pinder Report.
Thank you, Dean. Let's head to FlamesNation.ca, where we get a pulse of what's going on with the Calgary Flames. There it is. Ryan Pike with a Flames postgame, declawing the Panthers. And a bounce-back win indeed after they got absolutely slobber-knocked by the Tampa Bay Lightning on Thursday. Mackenzie Weegar also hitting that 500-game plateau. Pike's got that. And, of course, lots of words on Dustin Wolf, who posted his second shutout of the season on Saturday against his old rival and teammate, Spencer Knight. Flames news today, they have recalled the two forwards we've seen a lot of lately. That'd be Walker Duehr and Jacob Pelletier. The second time in a week we've seen this, down for an off day, back up for practice and game days. All they're trying to do is just slow the waiver clocks of these fellows before they need to clear them again so they can theoretically have access to them longer without having to expose them to other teams at some point. All right. Little cap management doesn't hurt, but it's what, $20 million? They're not going to use it all this year, I don't think, Dean.
No.
Just savings. Save it up. You can spend it next year, right? You save it and you.
And we just now, what was it? Duehr's got the one way, and it's Pelletier who financially is taken.
Yes. Pelletier would probably make around a tenth of his NHL salary at the American League level. You have some nice signing bonus in there, but yeah, he's the one getting the financial pinch when he's down for a day.
Yeah. Today I'm making $30. Tomorrow, $33,000.
That's right. Yeah, something like that. Dustin Wolf. Now, what do we know about Wolf's, Red? Like, not Dustin, but like the animal.
They're a pack animal, Dean.
Yeah.
Or Ryan. They're a pack
there was
animal.
imagery of a wolf. What would you imagine them doing?
Howling at the moon.
Interesting. So Wolf howling at the moon. Now, Wolf, how many shutouts this year?
Two.
Guess what day the shutouts came on? Frickin' full moons. You can't make this shit up. 2 shutouts a month apart, both nights, full moon. Wolf howling at the moon.
Woo! 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 Woo!
That's insane.
Mm.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true, right? I mean,
Yeah. Eddie Mack says it's so.
And a boy, EM. I like that one. It's,
Yeah, you did.
So next time they play on a full moon day, we're hammering the Wolf shutty at like
Oof.
plus 1,500.
That'll be big money.
Playoff odds at the Athletic have the Flames not getting in. Kind of mucky middle. Here's a Pike with the latest as of this morning's projections. 8% chance to make the playoffs, projected to finish with 85 points. And tied for 20th overall, which is just outside those top 10 picks. The Flames pick could be protected. If it's 11 or later, the Flames first rounder will go to Montreal as part of the Sean Monahan swap. But the gap between pick 10 and 12 is only 3 points. So lots of runway left. Flames have not been great since the beginning of December. But again, that hot start, they are where they are. There they are just on the outside of the playoffs. They do have a game in hand on Colorado. So in theory, you could win that game in hand and pass the Avs. I do like the Avs for the remaining 50-plus games, though, if I had to pick one.
Yeah. I would concur.
Yeah.
I'd also like to bring to attention, look at the background graphics with the snow falling. It's our Christmas. Look at it.
There could be weeks of this, but we're just taking a lot of vacation, so you enjoy it this week.
Isn't that nice? Look at the Christmas lights at the top there, which was
great.
So nice.
Oh, Boyarge.
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 Yeah.
Here are the real standings, not the projected one. Or we just showed you those. Schedule. We continue with the Atlantic Division, as it was Tampa and Florida to start the homestand. Now Boston rolls in tomorrow, and then the red-hot Ottawa Senators, boys. Best team in the NHL in December? Yep, you guessed it. Travis Green's Ottawa Senators. We're in a playoff spot. Let's check into the East standings. Isn't this wild? I want it to happen for the Sens. I've been so hard on them for so long.
You have been, which is weird to have
you
you actually rooting for them.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess
I like the owner in there.
And Lauer?
The new owner is better than the old owner. That's for damn sure. I don't think it's close. They got the new rink that's almost done. I think they've got better GMing, but I don't know that it could have been much worse.
Washington?
Washington is dominating, boys.
What? in
Spencer
the-
Carberry.
Well, I can't talk about them because Red gives me shit every time I do.
I not.
It's
Well,
true.
why do you consider it shit when I make the true?
What are we talking about Washington for? Just
That's not what I say. What I say is you love Washington, and you just it's fine. Ryan, concur with me.
Dean, back to you.
Caps have won 4 in a row and 8 of 10. They're 8-1-1. They're 1 point back of Winnipeg in the overall standings.
How do you know so much about Washington all the time?
I had it. It's prep. It's in my
You can't
notes.
win here. You
Yeah.
can't win, Dean. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
just the way it's going to go.
Like Minnesota is there. Maybe we didn't see that. Winnipeg is there. Maybe. But the Washington thing did not. Can you imagine what they would have to odds to win the Bet365 for the division or the East or whatever it is?
50 to
Long
1.
way to go.
Yeah.
But
Flamesy territory for like cup odds. And look, like they've done some interesting retooling. Like when they went and traded for Mangiapane, we all kind of like said, that's odd. It sort of feels like they're going the wrong way. They had the huge goal differential underwater last year. Lindgren got red hot and carried them into the playoffs, and they probably shouldn't have made it. And then they had Chikrin, and they make the swap for Dubois, who's been good. And you're like, shit, they've done a really good job of papering this thing over to the point where Ovechkin, leading the league in scoring, has been gone for like a month, and they're still winning.
and their coach is named Spencer.
Sounds like a good boy, Spencer.
Spencer got these guys rolling. Old Spence.
Boy, Spence. Bad news for Zane Perrick. He's not going to the World Juniors, right? Not unlike you, Hockey Canada besmirched his good name. Yeah.
You sons of bitches.
Is that what it is, or he just didn't deserve to go?
Don Hay hated me.
Why'd Don hate you so much, Rhett?
Because I used to beat the piss out of all those guys in Kamloops.
That's fair.
Not the tough guys, the guys that weren't.
There it is. I used to take cheap
Smart,
cheap
eh?
shots against all of his good players.
Hopefully fuel.
Hey, Nat Domicelli.
We'll move to some NHL news. We had a big swap on Friday. Cam Fowler, you heard it with Frank Seravalli. He's off to the Blues. They get Cam and a fourth for Jeremy Biakabatuka in relation to Tim.
Yes.
And a second rounder in 2027, which is a ways away. That's 3 drafts from now.
It is a ways away.
That's a ways away.
How long had Fowler been in Anaheim? I was amazed.
Since his draft day. And there it is. He leads the team in goals, assists, points by a defenseman. 991 games, fellas. You know what it was? Pat Verbeek's like, screw this. I ain't paying for no silver stick for this guy. Let's get him out of here.
That's exactly what it is. The rest of his teammates were like, can you move this guy before we got to buck up?
I saw
and the guys in St. Louis are going, what the?
Wait a minute.
What?
Bob Thomas is like, which guy is he? What?
I gotta
chip in on a
I
gift?
gotta chip in $5,000 for this guy.
The Silver Stick Company is like, it's December. It's right before Christmas. We don't just you got to have more. Come on now.
We just had Anaheim engraved in here already.
I was reading something this morning. I guess it was the same, and I don't think it was. But Corey Perry was very close to the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like within 10 of hitting 1,000. Thank you, Corey. Only Getsy gets the silver sticks here.
I guess. Sabres are bad boys. As we told you earlier, owner's going to go meet in Montreal. The truth is in the proof, Rhett. They've lost 10 in a row. That's no bueno. And the funny thing is, as Rhett noted, nobody might care in Buffalo because, the team that everyone else is focused on is actually quite good. And this is a nice little summary of how things must be feeling in Buffalo. Every Bill stat is like, they're the first team to put up 100 points in back-to-back weeks since the invention of the television. Then all the Sabres stats are like, it's the first time a team has lost 10 straight, despite scoring first in all of them since the Sabres did it 3 years ago. Yeah, that's going to feel like Sabres land there, doesn't it? Remember when we thought they were like coming out of this like 3-4 years ago? They had another monster losing streak. Oh, pain.
That was when Tage got there, right? One of that massive
light it up.
2 years ago.
He's been good this year too. Injured, but good. We've done a lot on them, but that's not a quick fix.
10, like that's an eighth of the season, right, Dean?
Now listen. Yeah, that's right. We could go in there and fix it. If they really want to get serious, we'll go there. Rhett, you coach them.
Yep.
Ryan and I'll run them. We'll make the trades. but it just seems like they're not really quite ready for that.
Wow.
Youngest team in the league. Need some veteran savvy, Rhett. That's what they need.
Are they so young that it's an excuse? So, and again, the
Not
youngest
really.
team in the league thing is a really good marker for growth, except they've been the youngest team in the league for like probably 3 or 4 years,
Mhm.
and they've not missed a play or made the playoffs in 14 years. So it's kind of
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
less of a
It's not much of an excuse so much as just a reminder of how high they picked for so long, and there's lots of good young players, but they still don't have shit figured out.
Are they good though? Dean made that point. Are
Well,
I
that's the
think
thing,
a lot
is
of these guys will
got a
look
lot of
really
young, good
nice
players.
elsewhere. Yeah.
yeah, good. Expected to be good because they were
Good-ish.
drafted very high.
Yeah, good-ish.
Like, would you be surprised if one of those kids got plucked out of there and was really good in his next stop?
No, not at all.
No,
It's kind
'cause
of
we've
like
seen that.
it's-
We've seen that movie.
There is a trend. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Vitamin D. They don't give them enough vitamin D there, Dean.
Now, I
What
think
about
the
grounding
Bruins.
mats?
Oh, grounding mats. Yeah. Your lights.
All of the above.
Blue
That's
blockers.
the problem with it's the problem with the Pagulas. All that cashola, it siphons over to the football team.
Is that costing the money? It's not making the money? Huh.
Oh, they're doing okay.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Back to me, Dean. The Boston Bruins are on a West Coast swing. They come through Calgary tomorrow. They had to stop in Seattle. Edmonton, I'm sure. Vancouver. That's always hot when it's Vancouver, Boston, right? Right?
Yep.
Well, and Marchand, just right under the skin of the Vancouverites. There he is leaving the rink. Just classic Marchand, rubbing it in.
I like that.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's how he gets around
Really?
Vancouver. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yep.
It's right by the space thing, the planetarium or whatever. Science.
You know, so when's the game against the Flames for the Bruins?
Tomorrow.
Are you guys ready to talk about Elias Lindholm?
I'm pumped.
I'm ready to talk about the Zad Dog.
No.
Top pair, 5-year deal, Zad Dog.
I might take you and raise you a Lindholm.
I think it's part of the bigger conversation that they're two peas in the same pod.
You know how many goals Elias Lindholm has scored since October 14th?
2.
1.
Oh
Ooh,
dear.
good for him.
He had
Was
one
October
opening.
14th the start of the season?
No, he's like the 9th.
Lindholm scored goals in 2 of his first 3.
Oh,
He has 1 goal in 28 games since,
but
and
he's a
has not
scorer.
scored now in 10 straight. He's gone 7 games without a point.
You can file that under D for dodged bullet. Like, oof.
What have I got? I've got to have some real good stuff here that
Yeah, let him have it, Dean.
well, we could do it tomorrow, but
Also, will be
All
all
right.
over the
That's
Elias
bad.
Lindholm
yeah.
anytime goal tomorrow. That's gonna be
bad.
automatic hit.
This
Game
is
tonight?
going great.
All right, I'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, lots of time for that.
Right.
How many years did he get? 7?
All of them.
All the years.
All the years.
3 games tonight. Dean's Washington Capitals are in Dallas.
can't wait.
Heavyweight battle there.
Don't call me between 6 and 8:30.
Yeah, and then it's a 6:30 start in Edmonton. That's an unusual start time because it's a Stanley Cup rematch. The Panthers, who've not scored in 2 games in Western Canada so far, will be up against the Oilers. Not sure if we'll see Barkov or not. He didn't play in Vancouver nor Calgary.
5 in a row for Edmonton. Look out.
They're looking good. And then finally, the nightcap. It'll be 2 of the league's best offensive defensemen, Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, going head-to-head in Vancouver. Nice little nightcap there. Don't mind that at all.
That's
Sure.
a good night of hockey, considering there's only 3.
That's right.
Those are all bangers.
Bangers indeed. We'll revisit those in our Bet 365 wagers of the day later on. There's a kid's goal scored on the weekend. Very exciting. This is
If you show us your kid's goal.
no, this is your kid, right? I think. Yeah. There's a Spinell. Does he slide that between the hole and his shin pads and his skate as he's spinning around on the backhand? Oh,
It's
wow.
kind of under the toe.
Another toe, yeah.
That's amazing, but also someone's a loser for videotaping.
Oh, yeah. That's a psycho parent for sure. But we do have footage of the goal, which was cool.
Thank God they were videotaping, you loser.
There's some layers to it. Son,
You want that?
that's a heck of a goal for sure.
We'll move on to something Rhett wishes he was videotaping being a loser at. That would be the Bills, as Josh Allen in the last 3 games has 1,000 yards.
What's that?
14 touchdowns and no turnovers, Rhett. Back to you. Also hasn't been sacked.
3 games.
That's insane. 3?
I don't need Christmas. I already had it.
Well,
Go, Josh, go. And Haley, too.
How's the shoveler enjoying
Shoveler's
things?
pumped.
Yeah.
Pumped.
vibes are good.
One of the kids had her Bills hat on. She cuffed that little bastard and took it right off his head.
Cuffed him.
The hell you doing?
Had the Bills hat on?
Toque.
Bill's that?
The toque.
Can't be touching the shoveler's toque.
It's my toque.
Oh, I thought okay.
Bad news for the Detroit Lions. David Montgomery out indefinitely. Knee injury.
Oh, those hurt.
I think the MCL's in the knee, or it's not. Does it go to the hip? Where's the MCL?
Yeah.
Not
This
ideal.
is what is it? The Gonzo and Dildo? What were these 2 guys? The running backs called?
Knuckles and Sonic.
Right.
Not Gonzo and Dildo. Close.
I couldn't remember. I knew it was some kind of a catchy thing.
Yeah, it was really good.
So is he Dildo or Gonzo?
He is Knuckles.
Gonzo
Okay.
now.
He's
He
Gonzo.
is Gonzo for a few weeks, it looks like.
Give me those
Hello.
ribs. Give me those ribs. Get over here.
2 Monday Nighters tonight. Because why not? Nobody on bye. All right. 2 Monday Nighters.
Neither good.
Vikings can move into a tie for top spot in the NFC North. That's wild. Detroit's been that good. They lose once, and now the Vikings can move into a tie at 11-2. They've got Dean's Bears. If only your Bears were playing as well
Dang
as your
it, Dean.
Capitals.
And
Yes.
you got the Bears and the Caps. What are you going to do? PIP?
Oh, 2 screens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it'd be PIP. For sure.
You won't need a third pip for Atlanta Vegas. This is
Yeah.
ugly.
Just take
Atlanta's
that
fallen from division lead, and the Raiders, well, they're on track to pick very high in the upcoming draft. As I suppose we could show you right now the futures probabilities of the first pick. Raiders lost tonight would help a ton, but some bad teams, Dane. Bad teams. Giants near there.
Not good.
Raiders up there. Could probably use a
Not
quarterback,
good.
though. Pick high, get a quarterback.
one.
Sure.
Always turns out.
Yeah, it always does. There's no bust at the top.
Man, they never.
Nope.
Well, they don't spend any money on their scouting. I don't think that's why it doesn't. That combine stuff.
It's just a mom and pop shop. They don't really have the
How
funds.
are you supposed to know?
Yeah, how do you know?
You barely get to see these kids.
What, all their games are televised, you think? Yeah, maybe not.
Doubt it.
Well, and then when they have to play in front of crowds, it changes everything, right? Because they're
Oh,
used to
scared.
playing.
They're nervous.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're amateur athletes until this point.
it's not their fault.
It's not your fault.
Rhett, good to see you rollerblading on the weekend.
Yep.
Happy for you. It's
Well, I'm
great.
back after my rib injury.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's right.
It's good to see you back and healthy, and love the shirt. Like, look at the vibes you got. Theirs is an odd choice, Rhett. Got to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I had to get down. What was I going to do?
Oh man, so
Jeez,
close.
Right on the ribs. You just got healthy.
I wanted
Jeez,
to,
Rhett.
I wanted to see if they
no.
were.
And usually the Rocky theme is you're climbing the stairs.
Oh. I
Now,
breathe.
is there a percentage chance that was on purpose?
There was a slight look of he's prepped for this, but
yeah, we're filming it. I'm wearing a silly outfit.
I think he thinks he's cool. I think he's totally wrong, but I think he thought he was cool.
Watch the
That's
feet
what-
at the end. Watch the feet. So he's going how many flights? It's fine. And then
Kind of drags a toe there, doesn't he?
I think this is
oh, that one caught maybe.
Well,
Oh, I don't know.
either way. I
probably.
hope he's
AI.
okay. T's and P's to
Insurance in America,
cover.
very cheap and convenient to use.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, no sweat. Dean, good to see you back out cliff jumping again. I know you before you had that tickle. We
Try
got
and
to-
make me stop.
That's right.
Get it. I dare you to.
That's pretty good.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's
Did Jack say perfect, or was this on the video?
Perfect.
Video.
Jack likes it.
Jack, how would you rate that dive?
That's a 10 out of 10. But once again, I think we could all do that. We've seen this guy
What?
before.
I'm going to go after you.
Are you kidding?
You could do what?
We could all do this jump.
I
I'm
could
not
jump
getting
on that
over
lower
the.
level.
I'm not getting
Hey,
over the
Let's
thing.
rewind and break this down.
Yeah, we need the breakdown.
Okay, let's go.
Chalk talk with Rhett.
Okay. So
That
you
one
got to
you're
get over that
you,
thing.
you have to clear a ledge or a guardrail.
And then the big cliff below. You got to get over that.
Yeah, and don't clip a knee or a foot on that whatever you want to call
What's
it.
wrong with you, Jack? You trying to kill us?
I'm kidding, Red. Obviously, I can't.
He's got the 1.5 flip, half turn gainer
hell,
here. Look
Jack?
at that.
That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
He's got a camera or something in his mouth too there, so that'd be some interesting footage. I'm sure we'll have that tomorrow.
Now, Rhett was heartbroken, 10 years ago, almost purchased a professional sports team. So close.
My pro.
But you check out his new investment. Rhett's an idea guy. This is called Ultimate Taser Ball. Let's have a watch.
Oh, music off. Yeah.
And so it kind of looks like just everyone has a taser. And
Oh, jeez.
you got to put the ball.
I don't
Rhett,
want to
this is
pull.
genius.
My
play
buddy,
this?
that was at my 40th when we did the Amazing Race.
Yes.
Just asked, what were all your events? And I got to throw this right in the mix. This has
Yes.
to be part of
Taser ball.
anyone's Amazing Race. Has to have a taser ball challenge at the end.
Can you just rent these tasers, or how are we getting a
Bring your own.
Yeah, Rhett. And you're on the outro already. That's got to be great for league revenues. Rhett.
so
Congrats.
good.
Yeah.
I would suck at taser ball. I'm
I don't
easy
want
to
it to
catch.
be
There's
good.
lots of flesh for you to find.
Oh,
I'm very, very soft and weak.
what about you and a taser against a rhino at McMahon Stadium?
I don't know. I feel like the tasers don't give him the taser.
He doesn't get one. You get one.
I don't know. That's thick skin on those damn hippos.
I was out on Saturday after the game. You know, I have to do my party tricks when I'm out at the bar.
Yeah.
High kicking. Tried a backflip. Actually landed it all right.
Oh, Ryan.
They're yelling away.
Almost stuck the land. Ow, jeez.
Whoa, don't.
17th is not the come on.
Well, that's where everyone was lined up. Everyone was standing there smoking.
know,
I was,
you
like,
had the
I was like, this is
camera.
my crowd. I'm panhandling here.
You need an audience. I know.
Now, Dean, you're a big Kijiji guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Says who?
Well, we know he is. And here's the thing. His Capitals and his Bears are tonight.
I got such a good deal though.
And he could be going a pip, but he thought, what if I just get a second screen?
Yeah.
And so on the Jeej, it's like, sweet, I'll just pick up a second screen, but a bit of an issue. Let's snag. Here's Dean.
Looking at it turned on is the fucking Popeyes menu. Julian, it's not fucking funny.
Hey, bro, what are we ordering? What are we ordering?
Look, I try and change
It's
the
not fucking
channel,
funny, bro.
and I got nothing but. I mean, I love Popeyes.
You better get your money back.
Hey, bro, let's get the signature chicken, bro. Let's get the signature chicken 2-piece combo, you know?
Just giving him the gears. Is that beef bugging you about your TV?
Oh, guys, is giving me a hard time.
Oh, you thought you had
Nope.
a good TV? It's just
What
a
are we going
Popeyes
with there?
menu.
The tenders, the sandwich, retro. Where are we going? Right there. We got the tenders, the seafood, the shrimp.
I'm not
nuggets.
turning any of it down, Dean. Bring it all.
Yeah, I love
Signature
the
chicken.
seafood,
Let's go.
popcorn shrimp.
Mhm.
Damn, it's real good.
Makes me hungry, but that's not going to help you with Washington tonight.
No, it's not going to do anything for my
Sorry
football
about your
and
birthday.
hockey watching.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's your Pinder Report on Monday.
It's not like Kijiji's got a return policy either. I'm stuck with that thing.
I know.
Can't
we're
watch
gonna
the
make
game. My
the
mouth's watering. Damn.
Can't watch the game, but you can't turn it off.
I get just sitting there. I'm just fixed on it. Oh,
What soft drink am I going to get?
God, so good. From now to the end of the month, Village is holding their end-of-year pre-owned clear-out, over 70 units in stock, starting from only $11,988 up to $2,000 trade bonus. All makes, all models, all budgets. Now's the time.
Do it.
2025, we'll worry about 2025. Now's the time to get yourself behind the wheel of a good quality pre-owned vehicle at Village Honda, your dealership for life.
Well,
For life.
I'm watching that Mr. McMahon doc. It's getting good. We got the NWO stuff happening now.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean,
It's juicy.
there's swerves, like there's twists and turns for sure.
You got the screw job, the Montreal screw job last episode.
Yeah,
Things are getting hot.
Brett screwed Brett. That's what Vince says.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with that. I was interested in that Sonny reference, though. That was interesting.
Sonny's a mess. I think she's maybe dead now too,
Oh, shit.
because she did something very bad, and then she was in prison.
Really?
And yeah, spoiler alert.
Shoot.
Yep. Not a good person, as it turns out.
Plot twist.
I saw on our social media, it was an opportunity for someone to win 2 hockey tickets and over 11,000 Kegel exercises. Jack, did you
Bam!
see that?
I did.
I don't know that anybody's offering that sort of deal. I really don't.
First place I've seen it, I got to be honest.
Hockey tickets? Yeah, lots of people doing that. But can you do the hockey tickets and the Kegel exercises all for like what? It's the Mod Medical Clinic. BeAroused.ca. They have a pair of tickets and are including 2 Emsella treatments. Now, the Emsella is what it's provides 11,800 Kegel exercises, contractions in 30 minutes. This is the ultimate way to engage and strengthen your pelvic floor for strong core, improved bladder, and sexual function. Now, here's how you enter. It's the old Instagram. You love Instagram, Rhett.
Rhett's all over the gram.
Now you need to, you need to follow the Mod Medical at b.aroused. You like it, you share it, you tag a friend who I keep the Kegels for yourself. I know you're getting 2, but keep those for yourself. Then take the person, whoever, to the game. You know what? Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I'm not gonna judge you. You'll get an extra 5 entries if you post it in your stories, an extra 20 if you share it in your post and the stories and tag you go. It's the January 11th game. Los Angeles versus Calgary, plus an Emsella treatment for 2 people. So I guess
there you go.
That's what you want to do. Now the contest ends January 2nd. So get after it.
Have you seen this Emsella chair?
I have not. You know what?
Yeah, it's like a huge, big chair. My wife had it at her studio at her clinic for a while. And they're like, oh, sit on it. I'm like, all right, I'll give this a try. Everyone's taking a look. Holy moly. Like, I'm working out just by sitting here. Impressive stuff.
What do you mean, Dean?
This is right up
Just
our
sitting.
alley.
That's all you need to do to work out.
I thought you
Strengthen your core while you're sitting.
I think
They
maybe
should
all
put
of our
3 Emsella chairs right in our
pelvic
studio.
floor, all of our pelvic floors could maybe do a little,
They
gussy
retail at a high number. I think it's probably out of our price range.
11,800. Am I saying that right? Kegel
Mhm.
contractions in 30 minutes. I think even if you even try it. I don't think I could do it without without the Mod Medical Clinic. I don't think I could do it.
That's probably true.
I feel like we need to go and visit these guys, right? Like
The
just
chair.
to see what
It's on
this
the chair.
is. That what? Yeah, and they do more than just this. That's the thing. The Mod Medical Clinic is, if you're a man, don't just and you feel like, well, I'm not as in good a shape. Things don't feel quite right. I'm not able to do all the things that I used to do. My back's sore. Don't accept that. Tell your body, F you. I'm going to the Mod Medical Clinic. I'm going to bearoused.ca. I'm going to show you, body.
Yeah.
When you get up at 2 and 3 and 4 to piss,
Not ideal.
tell yourself. F
Tell your
you.
bladder, not today, bladder. And you know what? Not just today. No longer.
Not today.
Not today. So go and check them out on Instagram and enter that contest to become a winner. Big ol' winner. Thanks to everybody who took part in the auction last week. The Top Shelf Elf auction came to a close on Friday. We'll have, you know what they're doing? They're tallying.
Yeah.
They're doing some tallying. But also, we have the donation link still open, I believe. I hope I was told it was going to remain open. It is still open at nationgear.ca. So if you didn't get in the auction, you didn't win. Or even if you were in the auction, you didn't win and you won, now you still want to help out, then you can go and do that. Nationgear.ca on the auction page will be an opportunity to go and donate. Those the deserving families are going to be out there hustling and bustling, just like the rest of everybody else, getting those last minute, getting those gifts bought, getting the turkey and getting everything ready for a great meal. Love it. Thank you, barn burner people.
Barney's.
All the Barneys out there. Bet365. We got hockey and football. 3 games in the NHL, 2 games in the National Football League. How are you going to decide? Well, you can do them all if you want with Bet365.
Why not?
It's the largest sports betting platform. Wonder how our bets went. From the
Not
other
good,
day.
Dean.
I would know how our bets went, Jack.
Yeah.
I think I know for it. It's not pretty.
The Commanders were in a great spot, but then decided to miss a field goal. And
They
then
unraveled. They were way up early.
Way up.
Way up.
Way up.
I'm all the way up.
Goosh. Open an account with Bet365 today. Huge range of markets. Download the app. Use the promo code NATION when you do so. We've been telling you about it. Still do it. Still do it. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Here's a look at what Ryan has for us tonight.
Going hockey tonight. We got Quinn Hughes up against Cale Makar. He always shows up when he's competing against the other top Norris contenders. 2 points plus 205. Love that. And Leon Draisaitl just cashes this seemingly every game. It's wild how good he's been since about the time McDavid got injured. I want to say mid to late October. It's been on a massive heater. 2 points plus 135. That'll be a juicy game. Stanley Cup rematch in Edmonton.
That's one of those things, Ryan. You just go until it doesn't pay. He has multiple points in 5 straight games.
That's 5 times you've won this bet, and that number is continuing to shrink a bit. But until it doesn't hit, I'm still playing it.
Yeah, you don't need to let it ride every time, but keep rolling.
Plop a unit on it every time they play. See how it goes.
Put your big unit right on it.
Plop your unit.
Huge unit, yeah.
Right there on Leon. 5 straight multiple point games. Bet365. It's the world's largest sports betting platform.
Do you want to throw up the football odds again, Jack, too? Because we got those 2 games. I don't know if now are you done doing pizza bets, Brett, or what's the
Thursdays?
No, I'm done. He's not done.
No, we're not. You don't get to choose.
What is this week's? What do we got this week?
Well, the Thursday nighter, there's 2 Monday nighters tonight. So again, it's Bears Vikings and then Vegas Atlanta.
And I feel like pizza's probably coming Friday regardless. So
yeah, we do have a good budget for
Broncos Chargers Thursday, December 19th.
We'll see if the Chargers are frauds or not.
Better than any of these.
Ooh, they didn't look good yesterday.
They got throttled in the second half. They were up in that game. I want to say 17-10 or something, and they got stomped.
So this week, the Steelers let us down. Last week, it was the Bears because we kind of fallen into that. The Bears aren't winning, but they're covering.
Yeah, they
got the offensive.
And it's important. It was San Fran was packing it in.
That's right.
Swapped out the offensive coordinator. All of a sudden, quarterback plays better. Offenses look better. They're keeping it tight. And then they got yarded. Kind of like the Steelers this week.
Minnesota's getting no respect either. For a team that could be leading their division by the end of the night, or at least in a tie, they got 1 more game left with Detroit. That season series is a huge one. Detroit won the first matchup, but do we talk about Minnesota like they're about to go 11-2?
No,
they might be. They probably are.
If I was to pick on this, on my Bet3, if we were doing football bets today, which we're not, I'm sorry, but I would be giving away the points. I'd be taking the Vikings -7.
I'm with you. Right.
You're a great fan, Dean.
I know.
He wants a high pick for his team. That's true fandom right there. And then the
other game,
I don't know.
It feels like take the home team and the points, but what are they doing at quarterback?
Yuck. I think it's Desmond Ritter back in. O'Connell's hurt. Minshew's done. It's Yuckville there. And the Vegas
Jackson.
They're going to pick high. They might be as high as first overall. They need a quarterback. I don't know how invested they are in trying to win this versus just survive this game.
The Falcons, between Bijan and Cousins, they've not been good though. God, what is it?
Doesn't-
4 straight losses, 8 picks, no TDs for old Kirk.
Last 2 weeks, 8 picks, no touchdowns.
That'd be the opposite of what Josh Allen's doing.
Yes.
So you got Josh doing a bunch of touchdowns, no picks, and winning. Then down here, you've got Kirk, no touchdowns, lots of picks, no winning.
Yeah, it's bizarro Josh Allen. He's doing it all backwards.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the deal for tonight.
All right.
At 365, promo code Nation. Sign up. Sign up. What's up for the rest of the day?
Flood the rink. Going to see Rhodesy at the hearing loss.
Are you?
Really?
For the kids. Yeah.
Nice.
Good. Curling tonight, boys.
Oh.
Trying to get our 3rd win of the year.
I'd like some video of this. I want to see the quality of your game.
I don't think you would, actually. No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Is there live barn? Can you live, can we
No.
sign into the Glencoe security cams?
They do have cameras above the ring, so you can see the other end of the rink, but it's all closed circuit. There's
How many old broken hips on that ice sheet? Man,
yeah, there's a few hip injuries. There's a couple of guys that wear helmets. They all have stories if they're wearing helmets. They're not good stories.
We got a super chat. Reminder, if we get a super chat, we guarantee it. We're going to use it on the show, and then the proceeds from the super chat going directly to the youth centers of Calgary. It's easy to do. I don't know how you do it, but it's easy to do. And let's take a look. See, there it is. Mitchell Green, a $6.99. In the words of Old Dirty Bastard, Wu-Tang is for the children.
Wu-Tang.
That's what we're about. We're about the kids.
Yes.
Us and Wu-Tang.
All about the kids.
Woo. The Wu-Tang.
Woo. Woo.
And now just because these people did not donate, but we'll jam in. Last week in the show, they were talking about eggnog. Destroyed a 2-liter this weekend.
Wow.
They talked about grilled cheese sandwiches. I pounded back 2 on the weekend. We're having an impact.
You paying attention?
We're impacting people's life. Influencers,
Proud
that's
of
what
you.
we are.
How was the freezer popcorn, Jack?
That's what Doug wants to know.
So it was good, but it's not better than fresh popcorn. So if I'm ordering a bag, I'm not putting it straight into the freezer. Now, if I go to a movie and I have popcorn left, which is rare, and I come home, instead of putting it in the pantry, I would put it in the freezer and let it sit overnight.
What about the strategy? Because at some of these movie joints, you buy the big bag, get the free refill.
Oh,
right. So you do the fresh at the show on the way out. Fill this back up,
and then put it in the freezer. Yeah,
That's a dangle.
it's going in the freezer instead of the pantry. That's the
God.
move.
Dang it, Jack.
It was a little chewy, but it was good.
And how was your game of hockey? Did you
Excellent.
snipe?
Sent some vids.
Well,
Sent some
yeah,
visuals.
we need a goalie. So if there's any goalies out there,
Boom loves playing that.
drive out to Pritis
Oh,
and
I can't get enough.
gear.
Look at her.
Ramo.
Yeah.
Kerry Ramo?
You'd be ready.
My lateral movement is top notch. Quick feet. That's what they say about me. That guy's got some quick feet. Quick twitch.
Up and down.
Yeah. Ahmed says, how come Boomer's home cam is sharper than the studio cam? You know why? It's because Boomer cares.
Mhm.
Boomer cares. Rhett's using a styrofoam tub.
I broke my computer today.
No.
Congrats.
Oh. Having a nice cup of Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitched out. So my CTE
Your quick
kicked
twitch,
in.
yeah. Is that what
Knocked
CTE
it right
does to you?
over.
That's CT.
Right,
It's
right
a
onto
seizure you had.
right onto the keyboard. I thought I was quick. I flipped it.
Yeah.
Thinking
Got it.
because fluids, it usually gravity, right?
Yeah.
Thought, all right, I'm gonna had it turned off, flipped, brought it down here to start the show.
No bueno.
Black screen.
Darn it.
Throw that in
They're
a
cheap,
big old
though.
bag of rice.
Now's the time of year you might get a nice little discount or
They're
something.
cheap. Those, yeah.
Boxing Day. Go get one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think Stu's being a little cheeky. Stu says Boston Bruins having Osterley, Zadorov, and Lindholm and wondering why they stink.
Thank you, Stu. God bless you.
That boy Stu.
Is that Peppa Pig?
Yeah,
It's a
guess
stew
so.
weather day tomorrow, Dean. Let's make stew. You and me.
Oh, I love good stew.
it is. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna while we're talking about this, I'm gonna send this in right now, Jack.
Did you make
Because
buns?
I meant to. I made something, but and no one's gonna care about this, but maybe Rhett will. You might, Ryan, but there we go. Gotta send that in. We got more messages here. This one here is the from Arcan. Good morning. Met Boomer this weekend. Even more of a beauty in person.
I
Really?
hope you don't get
Did
sick
you leave your
before
house?
I did.
You
Wow.
met him. He was carrying around a virus. So this is.
No, I was okay. I feel like I was okay Saturday.
No, it's not how viruses work.
How does it work?
Well, you have it, you carry it around for a while, you're very viral, you're spreading it, and then you start to feel like shit.
I think you're burying the lead here. It's right that part, sort of there. Even more of a beauty in person.
Even more?
I'm a great guy. Even
So-
even better.
Even
than
better
I come
spirits
across
than
on
when
here.
you're on our show.
Yeah.
So is that saying a lot or a little?
Even more. When you watch this show, it's like there's a guy I want to hang out with. That guy is a ball of fun right there.
Yeah.
And what Arcan is saying, even more than that.
Wow.
Is that? I think you got his name wrong, but whatever.
Mr. Watts says, I met Pinder once when he was blackout drunk looking for the bathroom at Cowboys Casino.
Cowboys.
So that'd be it's also, again.
Oh, I wasn't blackout. We had a real nice comeback on the felt that night. That was a gem.
Really?
Well, I was down, but then
Yeah.
you
got
I
a
wasn't
battle.
out.
You got a battle.
Came back.
Uh,
Had to go to the washroom, regroup, splash some water on the face, get back at
You
it.
should have seen the video that I was sent this weekend of Ryan that went.
See you, buddies. We'll be back tomorrow.
What's this?
This was not part of the Pinder Report.
No,
What was he doing?
he was
Dean,
drunk.
Ryan's
he's
got
eating
Jack
food,
in
it's
his
like-
back pocket. He's paying him
Yeah.
off. There's something going on here.
How's sober December, Ryan? How's it going?
We had a good 10 days.
Yeah.
2 weekends in there. That was tough.
Yeah, it would be.
Did it though.
Yeah, for sure. I went back to the well. I made one of these a couple weeks ago. Kind of trying, you know what you're trying to do? You're trying to tune up your game for Christmas. We have people
Yeah.
coming over Christmas Day. You gotta be ready.
Shake the rest. Oh.
So that's the second. Much happier with this pecan pie than the
I thought
first.
the first one was great.
It
No,
tasted
better
great.
crust. Better crust.
It tasted great, but there was something about the top. The top, I wasn't really sure. This one came out much better.
Well done.
What do you think?
It's a clean stovetop. I like that.
Well, that's it's your operating table.
You serving whipped cream on top of that?
Either whipped cream or ice cream, whichever people want.
Okay. I'm in.
Also made a cherry pie yesterday. It was a
Good
2-pie
cherry
day.
pie?
She's my cherry pie. Right?
Yeah.
What a song.
remember that.
Warrant?
Put a smile on your face.
Warrant,
Damn right.
right?
Jenny Lane, dead.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's the program for today.
It's a tough way to end it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I got nothing to pull it out
yeah.
of the fire.
If you want to contact the show, we're entertaining the idea of having a little year-end mailbag sort of a deal, and we do the Great Clips inbox and that sort of thing. But maybe we want to hear from you. How was your year? What's going on in 2025? What's your best sports moment? Yeah, I know, Red. I know.
That face. He's
Stephen Brunt's coming in. What? I know.
I've heard nothing of the sort. I don't know. Okay.
I know. Well, Pinder, it's we'll do a mailbag show. Is the thought.
Some storytelling.
You can email the show, barnburner@thenationnetwork.com. Email the show. How was your
Barnburner.
year? The ups, the downs, the good, the bad. Maybe we'll have some laughs. Maybe the odd tear. Maybe we'll have a glass of brown liquor.
Mm.
Barnburner
When's
at the
this
Nation.
for? What?
So that you don't have to work.
Perfect.
You can have Right.
I thought you guys took care of this stuff. And didn't you used to do a best of the year kind of thing?
No.
Like,
No, we just talk about doing best.
No,
of the
again,
year.
yeah, it's stuff that we should do, but no one does it.
Right.
And you know what? In fairness, this is another one of those things. It's not going to happen because last year we were talking about a Christmas show and this thing we were going to do, and then it didn't happen. So we got the email set up though.
Yeah.
Barnburner@thenationnetwork.com. So email and
we're a tenth of the way there.
yeah, it'll go out into the ether as emails do, and then they'll never be seen or heard from again. But in the event it actually happens,
We'll do a show.
small chance, it'll be on the show. It'll be on that show.
Love it.
Tomorrow, Stephen Brunt. It's a Flames game day against the Boston Bruins.
How long
special
can we
guest.
harass Brunt? Like, I like talking to Brunt.
I think there's a chance. He might want to hang around.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to do that.
Come
mailbag
back.
show.
Yeah. Yeah. Next week, come back. It'll be like, well, Stephen, you're working, but we don't because,
We're lazy.
but it's
Frank was kind of.
you're not working on what day are you not
See,
working?
most parts of the world, they're smart. Like in Europe, it's like, why would you work? Like, did you see Tokyo is going to 4-day work weeks now?
What's that?
Tokyo is going to a 4-day work week. They're trying to help their incredibly low birth rate by giving people more time away from work.
To do some
Screwing.
hardcore.
Now, how would you feel if I told you I'm going to need you to work, I don't know, about 20% less than you do and screw a whole lot?
It's the other person that might be like,
Yeah.
whoa, hey.
My wife would be,
Whoa.
I'm going to get a second job, honey. What an opportunity this is for me to
you're
work
doing
all-
what? Well, some more time around the house. You think that's what's happening with that extra time around the house? Be like, can we go back to a 5-day work week? This is the shits.
In fact, let's go to 6 just to be safe.
Around the house, she got me doing all the chores and stuff. I thought I was getting some trim. You promised you this is not the
The
promise.
government told me.
Yeah, fucking Nenshi. This is not what I was told was going to happen.
Sold a false bill of goods.
This is some bullshit. Good luck, Tokyo.
Go
Let
get
us
him.
know how that turns out.
See you soon.
See you, buddies.